Let's bring in National Security and Military Analyst Dr. Rebecca Grant and former National Security Council Chief of Staff Alex Gray. I thought Ashley made some great points there, Dr. Grant. In particular, we just don't know if at all this is actually moving forward, or if we're going to sort of recycle this. We're giving them time, and they keep sort of treading water. What say you?
The U.S. and partners like Qatar, Pakistan have tried so hard to move Iran on negotiations, but I think the fact is Iran only listens to military force. I'd say Central Command is ready, 2 aircraft carriers in place, B-1 bombers, you name it, and it's time to crush some Iranian military targets.
Alex, that would seem to be the convention, especially when you listen to some of the trusted advisors. I've heard Jack Keane, the general, say as much. Do you think that's the right call?
Yeah, Kevin, I think the president has been very smart to leave himself the option to go back to a kinetic option if the Iranians do not do what needs to be done at the negotiating table. Every indication right now is they're doing the typical Iranian game of stringing along the guy on the other side of the table. And the president has left an extraordinary military and naval armada in the region. I think he's going to have to most likely pull the trigger again and show the Iranians that this is not bluff. We have the upper hand, we have the military overmatch, and we're prepared to use it.
A lot of people do feel very strongly that this is a regime that is confident that they can sort of wait this thing out, if they can string along the Americans and domestic pressure continues to build, that eventually they'll get the president either to agree to a bad deal or...
When the United States is going to recommence combat operations because we have no choice. Iran will not give up their nuclear program. They, in fact, expanded their demands regarding what would be required to open the Strait of Hormuz to the freedom of navigation and maritime traffic.
He says it's pretty obvious. We're going to have to go back to kinetic strikes. Is that where we go soon?
Yes, that makes a lot of sense because Iran is stringing along, and just the demands in the Strait, you know, they're now talking about setting up a Bitcoin toll booth. Fortunately, our U.S. Treasury is going to sanction anybody who pays that kind of toll. But it can't go on. We have the maritime power there not only to carry out the blockade, which is so effective, but again to put a Project Freedom-style bubble of surveillance and escort around merchant traffic. I think that's what it's going to take to get the international mariners moving again. And I think strikes might be the right way to start that out to hit some of those additional emplacements along the coast.
And to that end, Alex, I want to play a little sound. This is the Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and I really think he crystallizes the argument that what Iran is trying to do, in effect, is basically run a tolling operation here in the Strait of Hormuz. You want to have some commerce get through here, you got to pony up a little bit. They're extorting the vessels as they go through. That obviously enriches the regime, but at the same time, it also can impact trade. Now, let me share this little sound. I want to get your reaction to what Marco Rubio had to say about that.
Iran is trying to create a tolling system. They're trying to convince Oman, by the way, to join them in this tolling system in an international waterway. I don't know of anyone in the world that should be in favor of a tolling system in an international waterway. That's just not acceptable. It can't happen. If that was
on the other side of the table from them, the idea that President Trump would destroy the Iranian military and with Israel destroy these leadership targets over the last several months, and then allow the Strait of Hormuz to be turned into this Iranian lake with a tolling operation, which you're absolutely right, and the Secretary is right, that would proliferate to the South China Sea. It would be used all over the world. The Russians would use it. The idea that Donald Trump would permit that is just crazy, and they clearly don't realize who they're dealing with. This isn't the Biden administration.
Yeah, exactly right. Let me share this real quick. This is from the Jerusalem Post. It's a headline, and it reads, "No deal in sight if the U.S. insists on discussing nuclear issue," Iran's foreign minister spokesperson says. They're basically saying we're not going to talk nukes, and as long as the Americans want to talk nukes, no deal's going to happen. I am concerned for the people in Iran, Dr. Grant. It is very likely, it would appear, that they are going to have to deal with some hard hits as long as the regime remains in this particular posture. 30 seconds.
This regime is out of its mind. Obviously, the nuclear issue is job number one. We've destroyed Iran's power projection capabilities, but they can't have a nuke. They got to give up that enriched uranium. And remember, any targets struck are going to be legit military targets, very carefully calibrated to minimize collateral damage. But it looks to me like strikes are on the way.
Alex, wrap us up. It does appear that at any moment, could be tonight, could be in the days ahead, strikes seem likely as long as the Iranians refuse to discuss the nuclear issue.
President Trump has said since 2015 Iran will not have a nuclear weapon on his watch. If you don't believe him, you have not been paying attention, and I think the Iranians are about to find out the hard way that the president says what he means and he means what he says.
Two of my favorites, Alex Gray and Dr. Rebecca Grant.
Fox News does core operations. Fox News Channel, FNC, is a 24-hour American cable news and political commentary television channel. Its programming is generally split into two distinct formats. Daytime news reporting, hard news coverage focusing on breaking news, politics, business, and international events. Primetime opinion programming, highly rated evening shows hosted by conservative commentators such as Sean Hannity, Jesse Waters, Laura Ingraham, and Greg Gutfeld, focusing on political commentary, cultural issues, and debates. 2. Political stance and influence. Conservative demographics. Founded in 1996 by media mogul Rupert Murdoch and Roger Ailes, Fox News was explicitly designed to appeal to a conservative audience. Editorial lean. It is widely recognized for its right-leaning political stance and strong support of the Republican Party and conservative policies. 3. Current news and media footprint, 2026. Ratings leader. It routinely remains the most watched cable news network in the United States, dominating primetime slots against competitors like CNN and MSNBC. Digital platforms. Beyond the main television channel, the parent company, Fox Corporation, operates Fox Business Network, the streaming service Fox Nation, Fox News Radio, and a heavily trafficked digital website. If you were looking for something specific, such as how to watch stream Fox News, details about their current schedule, or information on a specific recent news story